is moved into central Bexar County and even eastern Bexar County. Quick motion on these, and you look at them moving off to the northeast at about 40 miles per hour, moving quickly. And I mentioned the dry line. It's the delineation between the muggy air and the dry air.
And Adam, we do have a tornado debris signature on the storm approaching Luling just west of the town, north of Highway 90. We can look at that by looking at our debris signature, which is our correlation coefficient. So
you
I'll
can
go
pop
ahead
that up.
and bring that up here in a second, Adam. If you wouldn't mind,
I'm off.
Just give me 1 second. All right.
So this is one of those, Doppler radars have been updated to what's called dual polarized. So they don't just put a radio wave out into the sky in one orientation horizontally, but then they also throw one out vertically as well. And so it's a better cross section when you have your radar beam. You've got one that widens out this way and then one that fans out this way. So you're looking at these storms at a much better angle and much better way.
Adam, just to give you another update from the National Weather Service, a confirmed tornado on the ground just on the east side of Luling.
West side of Luling.
West side of Luling.
This said east side on this tweet that the National Weather Service sent out. Seek shelter immediately.
Yeah, and it's a
moving northeast.
It's a whole new ball game when it's actually Doppler radar. I mean, when it's confirmed by eyes on the ground and not just Doppler radar indicated. Most tornado warnings are as a result of radar indicated tornadoes, not necessarily touchdowns, but they could touch down at any time. Now we actually have that confirmation, which puts it in a whole nother ball game. And this is moving right into the Luling area. On the north side of it, you have the hail and likely some damaging hail, but that's not our primary threat. This right here near Stairtown and Highway 80, okay, that is the tornado right here. And this is our tornado, Treetop Lane. Okay, Treetop Lane. This is right along the Guadalupe County line. I believe that's the Guadalupe River right there that it's crossing over right now. I believe so. That right there is the tornado where the greens and the reds.
The San Marcos.
San Marcos River, there you go. I was thinking either or the Colorado River. Anyway, San Marcos River right there. Look at that, 70 miles per hour against about 40 miles per hour. And so that gives us that strong shear, and we're looking at, 100 miles per hour, 110 mile per hour potential shear there with that. And we just got our new little shear warning. That's a different look than we normally get, but that's our new indicator of the rotation within the thunderstorm. Sarah, I'm not sure.
Worth noting, too, though, that Adam, Gonzales County is under this tornado warning as well. It's just that the area of rotation is near Luling. So Gonzales County, the northern part of Gonzales County there, you need to be in your safe spot, but just know that the main area of rotation is near Luling at the moment, moving northeast.
Yeah, and it's north of I-10.
Exactly.
These storms stretch. I mean, there's another pocket of storms in the Austin area. Travis County is under a tornado warning right now.
And
there's some places up by Gerald. There have been places up by Dallas, in the DFW metro area. Yeah.
Confirmed tornado on the ground in Round Rock earlier today, too.
And now you can see where our technology has said, there you go, there you have it. We've got these rotating cylinders indicating that tight rotation, and now it has translated to a confirmed touchdown. They're kind of distracting, so I'm going to turn them off, but you see where you look at this, what really stands out to your eye is more than just a lot of colors, but the way these colors in particular are coming together, these blues, blue, green, and red, because that's where we have the circulation. About to cross San Marcos Highway. So that's Highway 80, San Marcos Highway. That's where we have the confirmed tornado, and it's headed to the northeast right now, very quickly at about 45 miles per hour. So Joliet, Luling, Soda Springs, you're downstream from this, although it does look like the primary rotation may be just north of Luling as this progresses. Still in Luling, you need to be in your safe place, and you need to be in an interior room away from all windows.
Something to note too, our meteorologist Justin Horn is out there on I-10 and he can't see it because this is a rain-wrapped tornado, probably rain-wrapped by all of the rain, the hail around it. And that's why these storms are particularly dangerous, because you cannot see the tornado. So if you are in that tornado warning, you need to be in your safe place, particularly if you're near Luling, Prairie Lee, or in other areas out there in Caldwell County.
Yep.
And guys, the National Weather Service did make a correction earlier. You all were saying that confirmed tornado was on the west side of Luling. Correct. They said east side initially. Okay. It is the west side where that tornado was confirmed.
And that's what we see there too on the west side of
Luling.
Luling.
And you mentioned all the rain wrap. Well, I have just the reflectivities on around this circulation portion. You see there's a ton of rain around there. So not all tornadoes are crystal clear and easy to see. And this has turned into one. It was just on the back side of that storm, but then we started to get even more rain coming around it and making it harder to see. And then sometimes you only hear it by the time it makes it to you. And that can be even more problematic.
You know, Adam, we have a lot of people too watching in San Antonio,
Yep.
and I think we should tell them that, you know, that dry line is through San Antonio, and the dry line pretty much clears our rain chances out. So even though we are under a tornado watch until 10 p.m., it's going to be hard to get any more storms going here around San Antonio.
The air is very dry.
Yes, and so again, if you're in San Antonio, if you're in Guadalupe County, where this storm is just now moving into Luling, the majority of Guadalupe County and Seguin is all right. But there's the dry line right along 281. It looks like that's where that dry line is.
Yep.
And, you know, throughout the day, we said the biggest threat would be along and east of 281. And that is where we have seen confirmed tornadoes out in near Luling and up in the Austin area. I mean, just look how lit up Austin is with tornado warnings right now, Adam.
Yeah, and the thing that caught my attention about all those tornadoes in the Austin area, one confirmed tornado on the ground at I-35 and SH-45 flyovers in Round Rock, in the Round Rock area, some at Sun City, some heading towards the Jarrell area, which you may remember saw a massive tornado.
Yes.
You know, not all that long ago. We have Justin Horn back now in our storm chaser, getting a look at some of those ominous clouds out there. Justin, we have got a confirmation of a tornado touchdown on the west side of Luling. How far away from that are you right now?
We are in Luling right now. We're about to go north on 80 or 183 just a little bit to see what we can see here. And I can tell you, and Sarah Spivey reported this, we have not been able to see anything, and my fear is that this thing may be a little bit rain-wrapped, and that's always a dangerous prospect because you don't want to mess with it. You can't see it, makes it that much more difficult. But we are traveling north into Luling right now, and so far not seeing any damage or anything like that. But we're keeping a close eye on the sky here as we do work a little bit north. I don't want to go too far north, and of course we got quite a few trees around here, so it makes it a little more difficult to see.
So Justin, when you say
that's the sky we're seeing right now.
When you say it's rain wrapped and that increases the potential danger here, is that a message to people in this area? If you look out your door, you see it's just raining. You may not see anything moving in a circular fashion. Is that essentially saying even if you see rain, the tornado danger could be behind that?
Sure, absolutely. And if you're in Luling, and as Adam and Sarah have been pointing out, you still need to take cover. Sometimes this happens. These storms cycle through, and the tornado gets caught up in that rain and hail, and it becomes harder to spot. We're in what I would say would be a pretty good location to get a look at this storm, but also you know, we're looking kind of back to the north and west, and again, at the moment, I'm not seeing anything, guys, but we'll keep you posted.
I want to ask Sarah and Adam as we come back here, my imagination, or are these storms strengthening as they move east?
Yeah, they are. They're strengthening as they move east. They're basically developing right along and ahead of that dry line that we're going to get to and talk about again in a moment. And then they do strengthen, and they actually strengthen pretty quickly. And San Antonio has kind of been the starting point for these storms. We've been on the edge of that big severe weather risk because they're just developing overhead, and then they really blossom as they quickly move to the north and east of town. And we're seeing more development now just south of Seguin, and that is on the muggy side of the dry line. So we talked about the dry line earlier. I'm going to stop the radar. This is important because it delineates the very muggy air, which is east of Highway 281, from the very dry air, which is west of 281. You can't form a thunderstorm in this dry air, okay? But you can and will form big thunderstorms in this very muggy air that we have east of town. Here's a way to look at it. We talk about dew points a lot. What's comfortable and uncomfortable? Look at Converse, Randolph Air Force Base. 72-degree dew point. That is very sticky and muggy. Seguin, 67 degree. Meanwhile, we get to Port SA on the west side, around 410, 50-degree dew point. Castroville, 41. You see that big sharp drop off, not in air temperatures, but in dew points, a measure of the moisture. And where you have that big difference in moisture, it creates a boundary, which then generates the lift that's needed to develop these thunderstorms, and not just in this situation a thunderstorm, but a tornadic thunderstorm because of the stronger winds that we have up above us. So what we have is very high wind shear right now, and that means the winds at the ground are going one direction at one speed. Winds above us are twisting at a different direction at a much higher speed, and these thunderstorms then can tap into that wind difference and that wind shear, and that can then lead to not just large hail, but of course sometimes these tornadic thunderstorms as well. That's Sky 12 looking off to the east, I believe. You see just the dark clouds there. I'm not sure exactly where Sky 12 is positioned right now, but they're headed that way. And now it looks like this thunderstorm has taken on a bit of a different shape. Okay, so it is downtown looking off to the east. This storm has taken on a bit of a different shape right now, but we still have that tornado warning in effect until 6:15 p.m.
Do have confirmed damage in Stairtown there.
Oh, we were talking about Stairtown.
Northwest of Luling, right on that Guadalupe line, just north of the San Marcos River right there.
Yep. Okay, good. We were talking about Stairtown. There we go. That's more information for us with that. Now the threat, it looks like, has moved farther to the east of Stairtown. I'm going to call back up the velocities, the different color schemes that we look at, and it's actually significantly farther east. Looks like it's kind of shifted a little bit. It's taken on a bit of a different shape. And what we look at is right here within this circle, within that circle, the potential tornado. And that's just north of McNeil, just northeast, basically Watts, to east of Soda Springs, between Tillman and McNeil, Tillman, Watts. Downstream from this, Delhi, Brown Hill, Thompsonville, Sandy Fork. Just north of Sandy Fork, but these are the locations, especially Delhi, I think, where you really need to seek shelter now while you have time, because this is headed to the northeast at 40 miles per hour, and the actual rotation is only about 10 miles away. Okay, so it's going to get there pretty quickly as it's moving fast. That's where we have the confirmed tornado that has been on the ground with this severe thunderstorm and this warning. We have mentioned it goes into some locations right along I-10 right now, but we know the primary threat is north of I-10, okay? So Luling, it's starting to move away from you. That's a good sign. Now it's just northeast of McNeil, and we can get down to the specific roads. It's not as well defined, I'll be honest with you right now. The rotation within here, there are a few spots. It's not quite as well defined and tightly packed, but Soda Springs Road, Harwood Road, FM 1322 and Soda Springs Road, within that area outside of Luling. Again, this is far away from San Antonio, so we are in a fine spot, and because of that big difference that we have in the dew point, and if you were to step outside right now and feel a lack of humidity and that nice crisp feeling, you're okay. You can't generate a thunderstorm. You remember, it takes moisture to generate a storm. One thing we have to watch is that line between the muggy air and the dry air. That can sometimes shift back closer to San Antonio. There's that possibility. So that's something that obviously we're going to stay on top of and be watching. But even out ahead of it, we're getting new development here south of Seguin, near Stockdale. Atmosphere may be a little worked over for some of those storms, but they, of course, will be monitored and need to be watched.
And Adam, if you zoom out, I want to let people know this is a very dynamic storm system that stretches all the way up I-35 toward Dallas. And we have had we travel that I-35 corridor all the time. And there have been confirmed tornadoes in Round Rock and now in Hutto. So there's a lot of tornadic activity going on right now in the Austin metro area, and not a good time at all for that. Rush hour, as we're looking at tornadoes on the ground across that I-35 corridor.
Yeah, the timing is not good, especially on those main thoroughfares like I-35. So Austin northward through Killeen, it's just peppered with these severe thunderstorms. These polygons that are flashing, those indicate the warnings that are in effect right now. Red indicates the tornado warnings. Some have been confirmed touchdowns, others are Doppler radar indicated. And the yellow indicates severe thunderstorm, which would mean potential wind gusts up to 60 miles per hour and or hail 1 inch in diameter at least, but with these storms likely a little bit bigger than
and
that.
Many KSAT viewers saw hail earlier this afternoon. In fact, we've got lots of pictures on our storm pins, on our KSAT Connect rather, of that hail, up to ping pong ball sized hail in New Braunfels from these storms that are now capable of producing tornadoes. They dropped some pretty heavy hail across areas of New Braunfels. Cibolo Schertz saw up to 1/4 of an inch of hail. If you have any pictures of the hail, put that on our KSAT Connect feature on our weather app. We would love to be able to show them. And again, remember, write down the time that hail fell at your house and day for insurance purposes. It's best if you can have a picture too, comparing it to the size of quarters or greater. But again, noticing that confirmed tornado there in that you're talking about right now, Adam.
And safe to say Bexar County out of the danger zone right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. Out of the danger zone. We could have a few showers popping up in the eastern side of the county, but I think our threat is really diminishing quite a bit. And so we still have that tornado watch in effect until 10 p.m. But as every hour that goes by without anything developing, the safer we're going to be. I mean, we could still, I'm not counting out any more development around town now, okay? We could still have a little bit more development, but indications are that the threat just keeps moving eastward gradually as time goes on. But those of you in Gonzales, right? Those of you in Shiner, Moulton, Hallettsville, Cuero, Yorktown, even Smiley, just because you don't have anything right now doesn't mean something else like this couldn't develop, okay? we could see a new one pop up. And our viewers in northern Gonzales County, you have right along I-10 roughly, Harwood, Welder, just outside of Flatonia, Sandy Fork, Armstrong, Brown Hill. You're within that warning area, and I think especially Delhi, Salem, Jeddo, Brown Hill, this is the zone where that rotation and that confirmed tornado is heading. So those of you in that part of our area, definitely Delhi, Salem, Jeddo, Brown Hill, that's where we think this is headed at the moment. So that's the most likely area to see the tornado. These circles get a little distracting, so I'm going to turn them off and then just switch over to the actual velocities. And keep in mind, as I was saying, sometimes the signature looks very tornadic, sometimes it looks a little loose and kind of broad. It can change. Once a tornado touches down, it doesn't mean it's going to be permanent until it's completely done. Sometimes they touch down, lift up, drop, lift up, and they skip across the landscape a little bit. And now we're starting to see that rotation a little more pronounced again. Earlier we were saying it wasn't as pronounced, but now just east of Tillman, near Delhi, the tornado is likely to be right in this area, near just outside of Watts, headed toward 304. So this is Highway 304 between Sandy Fork and Delhi, and that's where this tornado that's been detected is headed. It's headed that way, kind of easterly, but with that northerly component. So northeasterly for the most part, Delhi, Salem, Jeddo, even Brown Hill. Those are the locations where we really think you have to be in your safe place right now. Luling, the threat has passed, okay? Joliet, the main threat of the tornado, the tornado threat has passed. Stairtown, where we actually had a damage report, that your threat has passed. It's this part of the tornado, this notch right here. Earlier we talked about what looks like when they're flexing like their muscle. You get that hook echo. We also look for these notches in these storms. Those notches can indicate that there's rotation and the tornado within them. So that's what we're seeing here, just looking at it like this. Another thing I want to point out is our actual storm reports, because we can pop up our storm reports, and this is one near Stairtown. This is the public confirmed report of a tornado north of I-10 and northwest of Luling. Okay, so that's one of those storm reports that came in. We have other storm reports from the previous thunderstorm, the one that moved through New Braunfels, and basically this storm split off of that one. And you look at some of these reports, the hail 1.8 inches in diameter. Okay, that's just near New Braunfels there. 2 miles west of New Braunfels, you get 1 inch diameter. Cibolo, you get closer to Green, and 2 inch diameter hail. That's damaging hail. And as you know, what we often say is document the time, date, because for insurance purposes, you're going to need that. And unless it hits an official reporting site, this data gets lost in the mix. So the best thing you can do is, if you have a smartphone, snap a photo, because then you've got the date and time in the information. Take your photos, and then you don't even have to remember to write anything down. You just have it all in the photo already. It's part of the metadata there. All right, you see these 1 inch reports near Schertz. This was the beginning of that tornadic thunderstorm. This was all just the beginning of it, and now it's all pushed off to the east, but we're seeing some new development near New Berlin, Seguin, and we have a new severe thunderstorm warning. This is down near Falls City. Falls City included, Karnes City included, Kennedy included within this severe thunderstorm warning, and this one is until 7 p.m. for Karnes County and that little sliver of Atascosa County, and just about Live Oak County there as well. Right where they are, that triple point where they all come together. I actually believe that's near the Beck Ranch, the big area here, and that's where we have a bit of a hail core. And I think the primary threat with this will be hail up to about 1 inch diameter, at least for now. But as we've seen, these can blossom and become stronger very quickly. As for the actual hail track or any current hail within it, we'll take a look. Yeah, there's a little hail core that's out there right now, just east of Campbellton, about to hit that triple point where all the counties come together. That's Atascosa, Live Oak, and Karnes County. And if it has any history of dropping hail, and again, this isn't necessarily the damaging hail, but look, it has dropped quite a bit of hail right over I-37 and even a little bit 281 there in Campbellton and to the northeastward. That's that country store, one of like the only gas stations along 37 there for quite a long stretch. That's what that's near, right near that country store. And stretching now, it's moving to the northeast. So you can just track that hail track. I should say you watch that hail track, and it's just been moving this way toward Falls City. So those of you in Falls City can anticipate to get that hail from this new severe thunderstorm warning that is until 6:15 p.m. And that's one reason why we like to zoom out the view to make sure nothing creeps up on us. And this is one that has just developed and could quickly blossom into something stronger as it moves northeastward into Karnes County, and then right along parts of Wilson County as well, southeastern Wilson County near Poth, between Poth and Karnes City on 181. That's Falls City, basically. Between Poth and Karnes City, that's where some of the strongest parts of this storm is headed. I'm going to time this out for you. I'm going to have to draw a different type of line with this because of its shape. It's kind of an odd shape. So this should be moving at 40 miles per hour. So we're going to say 40 miles per hour, draw this, and bring it up here. Here we go, at about 40 miles per hour. All right, a lot of communities here. You kind of have to squint to see some of these, so I'll help name them for you. But we're talking Mayo at 625, Zunkerville at 627, Panna Maria 627, just a couple minutes away from this storm, Panna Maria. Karnes City at about 627, Kennedy 634, and this is the leading edge of it. Okay, this will be the leading edge of this storm. Helena at 635 and Green at 641. That is a different Green than the one that's spelled unlike the color near New Braunfels, okay? This is spelled like the color green, 6:41 p.m. This is southeast of San Antonio. So this is headed toward Karnes City, and then down the line, Yorktown area. That's the new severe thunderstorm. Primary risk, a straight line wind gust of 60 miles per hour, as well as the potential for 1-inch diameter hail. Revisiting this tornado warning that we have, as we talked about earlier, the rotation signatures within it can change a little bit. Now it's more on the edge of this thunderstorm. It's on the edge of it, not necessarily wrapped up so tightly in all the rain. See it just east of Watts, that's where we have our cone, and that cone is a clear indicator of that low-level rotation within the thunderstorm. So I'm getting rid of that so we can go back over to our actual analysis of it. And right near Delhi, remember we had been talking about Delhi? That's where we have this green and red come together. And in this type of orientation relative to our radar site, boom, that's your tornado right there.
Yep.
That's the tornado. And it may not be on the ground still, but it has a history of actually touching down, confirmed. So that's Wolf Run Road. Wolf Run Road, Rifle Road, and Wolf Run Road, just south of FM 713, heading toward FM 1296. Okay, this is Brown Hill area. I think even though Brown Hill, you're not included within the warning, it'd be a good idea to seek appropriate shelter, okay? Jeddo especially needing to seek the appropriate shelter, which is indoors. As many walls between you and outside as possible. And if you have a basement by chance, that's the place to be. Otherwise, you want to be in an interior room away from put as much between you and outside as you can, and the fewer windows the better, because windows can get blown out and then you can get glass on you, and then debris can also come through a window. But this is headed toward Jeddo and Salem area, and then Cistern as well. See, notice how this warning stretches all the way east, nearly to LaGrange. That's the part of where the tornado likely is still about 30 miles away from LaGrange. But it's moving at 40 miles per hour, so it'd get there within the hour, right? Probably about, depending on how this changes, within about 40 minutes or so. We'd probably see that get toward LaGrange. So that's why this is such a long tornado warning, and it's gotten even tighter now too. Seen that rotation get a little bit tighter right over Delhi, where these winds that we can actually detect and clock 51 miles per hour, 50 miles per hour, 30, 20.
You know, Adam, earlier we saw the heavy storms over the McQueenie area and Seguin area. We're told that the Guadalupe officials that are out there are going to check out the Seguin area, the Kingsland area for damage. The damage that may have occurred earlier. Also, at last check, there were at least 4 confirmed tornado touchdowns in the Austin area: Austin, Round Rock, Pflugerville, Hutto. Taylor area.
If you check out, some of the meteorologists covering this in the Austin area right now, there are some intense pictures of the storms out there as this thing is moving east of us. I believe we still have Justin, who was out. He was on I-10 earlier, but headed towards Stairtown. You talked about that area, Adam, earlier. And Justin, you're looking for confirmed damage from one of these tornadoes. Is that right?
That's correct, and we found it. It definitely crossed the road right just to the east of Stairtown. And let me make sure I have this road correctly. That is 80, Texas 80. What we can see is quite a bit of tree damage. And we're looking at some power lines down. We can see debris scattered across the road, some trees uprooted. So we know that the tornado came right through this area. And looking off in the distance, which is onto some private property, it does look like I can see some damage off in the distance as well. So to me, this does look like a path of damage, which would indicate a tornado. They've got the road blocked here because there's a low-hanging power line. So we were sitting in traffic for a while. You want to avoid this highway, obviously, if you can. But this is just to the east of Stairtown along Texas 80. And that's where we're seeing the damage. You can see the telltale signs here of trees limbs snapped, and you can see where the winds came through and just tossed around a lot of debris here.
We're talking Stairtown kind of north and east of Luling. Is that what we're talking about?
That's correct. This is in between Luling and Stairtown.
All right, glad somebody got that report of that downed line in. Obviously, traffic stopped, so crews can take care of that. Looks like they're going to be busy along with crews from the National Weather Service going out to confirm what has happened, what has touched the ground, and what the damage looks like.
And meanwhile, I think we have Sarah Spivey to talk about some of the hail that we've seen out there. And it went through the hill country before it came here. Actually, we're going to go to Adam first.
Yeah, we want to give you a quick forecast. We're going to get some of that hail with Sarah in a bit. Just a quick recap of the radar here. That tornadic storm is just outside of the KSAT 12 viewing area. But if you are in extreme northern Gonzales County north of I-10, it'd be wise to seek shelter. Okay, this is north of Wilder. We're talking Brown Hill. Okay, Brown Hill, Jeddo, Salem. That's where that's going. But we also have this severe thunderstorm warning. Poth, Falls City, moving into Karnes City, about to clip Kennedy as well. These are taking on some odd shapes, and they're continuing to evolve and change because they're just starting now and they're rapidly strengthening, but moving off to the northeast at 40 miles per hour. So this is the next threat within our area, hail of 1-inch diameter, and also we're talking about the potential for a wind gust of 40 miles per hour. Right now, the rowdiest part of this storm is moving into Poth, and we can get right along 181. You can get downtown Poth if you want. 181, 226, West Meyer, McDaniel, looks like Schneider, St. Mary's, all those roads. That's where we likely have some large hail that would be damage-inducing hail and cause some damage. And then we got to watch this little bit on the south side as well, particularly over the next 30 to 45 minutes, as that may even get a little bit stronger than what we have near Poth. And this is right on the Wilson and Karnes County line. Okay, in San Antonio, we're good right now. Seguin, you've got some areas of light rain. This isn't as bad as it was before. Right now, it's okay. There's a little bit of lightning with it, but so far, so good. It's not like that severe storm you had. We have the dry line moving in. The dry line, we've been talking about it. Sarah's going to get into it more, and it's what triggered all these and gave us some of this large hail in our area as well.
Yeah, if you were on the east side of Bexar County and even into southern Guadalupe, southern Comal County, you got some hail from these severe thunderstorms that moved through. This is a look at hail in New Braunfels. You can see the quarter right there, larger than quarter size, closer to ping pong ball size. These are sent in through our KSAT Connect feature on our weather app. If you have pictures sitting in your phone from earlier tonight and you want to share them with us, you can do that. This was in Cibolo, right there on the northeastern part of Bexar County and into Comal and Guadalupe counties. You can see that there was quarter-sized hail there. Something that's really fascinating about hail is the different shapes it takes. You can see with this New Braunfels hail, it had some spikes in it and a lot smoother out in Cibolo. Let's look at some more pictures. This was in New Braunfels, sent in by viewer Mel. Again, looks like it's larger than quarter-sized. And then this was in New Braunfels, near New Braunfels High School. Some hail there as well. I'm sure a lot of kids in New Braunfels and New Braunfels High School, right outside of school, were going inside because of that hail out there. And then again, more hail in New Braunfels. All right, this is again Cibolo, quarter-sized hail there too. I do want to remind everyone that there is a tornado watch still in effect for all of these counties in red here until 10 p.m. tonight. Now, I do think that the tornado threat is practically over for San Antonio, but Adam was just showing those severe storms in Karnes County, near Floresville and Wilson County. These storms are capable of producing hail primarily, but we have already seen spin-up tornadoes through Austin and, of course, near Luling there on the Guadalupe and Caldwell County line. So we're not going to be ruling out tornadoes for the remainder of the evening for many of these counties east of 281, and that does include Gonzales, Wilson, Karnes, DeWitt County until 10 p.m. But again, the dry line is to blame for these very volatile storms. I'm showing you the dew points here, and you can still see there is moisture-rich air in New Braunfels, but clearly a sharp line between the dry air and the moist air, and these storms fire up on the moist side of the dry line and we see them become more volatile. The dry air is through San Antonio right now. That's one of the reasons why I believe big tornado threat is mostly over for San Antonio, but we're going to keep an eye on things in case we get any more redevelopment. But I think for the most part, San Antonio, especially those west of 281, are in the clear. So for the next 12 hours, your KSAT 12-hour forecast, we're going to be seeing the rain chances come to an end. By 10, rain will be done. We'll be dipping into the 70s. It's going to stay mostly cloudy through about midnight, but then skies will clear. Notice winds are going to be calm in the overnight hours, and then by early tomorrow morning, let's say you have an early morning tomorrow, close to 50 degrees. You'll need the light jacket. You'll need the sweater. Then tomorrow, your KSAT 12-hour forecast from 9 o'clock in the morning. Look at that, complete sunshine tomorrow. The one thing to keep in mind is that winds are going to be very gusty from the northwest, gusting up to about 35 miles per hour. We're going to be dry tomorrow behind a cold front, so high fire danger all across the KSAT 12 viewing area, but plenty of sunshine, and temperatures should top off in the low 70s. Again, gusty throughout the day tomorrow, and into the evening it'll still be fairly windy too, but a very quiet day for your Tuesday, and in fact quiet for the remainder of the week. Not great news, because drought has really started to take a grip on south central Texas, and even when we do get rain like what we saw today, comes with a severe thunderstorm risk. But at least the weather is quiet over the next few days. Again, we'll continue to give you an updated look at the radar a little bit later on, but for now, toss it back to you, Myra and Steve.
All right. Thank you, Sarah. We also have crews heading out to several of the areas where there have been reported tornado touchdowns. And of course, we'll continue to update you through the next 26 minutes of this show.
A lot more to come. We'll be right back after this.
Welcome back. A ransomware attack has hit the Bexar County Appraisal District. Staff confirmed that attack this morning. It happened yesterday at the district's email, and the email system is down. Courtney Friedman reports while it may take days to fix, it could have been far worse.
It was late Sunday morning when the staff at the Bexar County Appraisal District noticed some suspicious activity in their system.
Our IT staff logged in to see that we had been hit by a ransomware attack.
There was a ransom note, but hackers didn't demand an amount of money and didn't leave contact information.
Was it someone that clicked a link? How did this happen?
It doesn't appear that somebody actually clicked a link to initiate it, but it does appear that it came through email. As far as additional forensics, we are still trying to determine that.
Assistant Chief Appraiser Scott Griscom says right now it looks like hackers were not able to gain access to the appraisal records database that has all the public sensitive property information.
Our email servers are down at this point. We're still working on that. And a few other critical systems.
Other than sending and receiving emails, the public shouldn't see many effects right now, but are urged to have patience.
Website is still available and is unaffected. So the public can use it. Our phone system is up and running with no problem, so people can call.
Griscom says it could take 1 to 2 days to restore damaged files and get all systems back up and running. In the meantime, he has a message to all businesses, government offices, and individuals.
Back up your data.
Does your district have backups like that?
Absolutely. And that's what we're using to restore our functionality. Absolutely. We back up a lot.
He says this happened to his office despite layers of security and training, and it could have been much worse. Courtney Friedman, KSAT 12 News.
A man accused of killing a prominent Texas doctor has been arrested in Seguin. 21-year-old Logan Llewellyn was arrested yesterday in connection to the hit-and-run killing of 67-year-old Dr. Nancy Hughes. This happened Friday morning in Galveston. Police say Llewellyn hit Hughes with his car as she was riding her bicycle. Hughes was an internal medicine specialist in Galveston. Jail records show that Llewellyn is being held in the Guadalupe County Jail on a $200,000 bond. He will be extradited back to Galveston County.
The San Antonio police searching for a woman's ex-boyfriend who allegedly shot her current boyfriend during an argument. It happened just after 1 this morning in the 900 block of Jean Street near South Hamilton Avenue on the city's west side. SAPD says the man went to his ex-girlfriend's home to pick up property. That's when officers say a fight happened. The suspect pulled out a gun, shooting the woman's 22-year-old current boyfriend. The victim taken to the University Hospital. He's expected to be okay. No arrests have been made.
At the last minute today, a man charged with attempted capital murder of a police officer took a plea deal to avoid trial. He was facing 3 felony charges and pled guilty to all 3. Erica Hernandez was there during sentencing and shares what played out in court.
What you did was very clearly dangerous.
It's been almost 2 years since 23-year-old Adrian Cardenas shot at a San Antonio police officer while fleeing from a traffic stop. The officer was lucky as the bullet directly hit the body cam he was wearing.
The only reason this isn't a capital murder is because the body cam saved the officer's life.
Cardenas was expected to go to trial today, but as potential jurors awaited in the hallway, he decided to plead guilty and take a plea deal.
I will find you guilty of the offense of attempted capital murder of a police officer. I will assess punishment at 40 years confinement in the Texas Department of Criminal Justice.
This hearing just one of several taking place in the courthouse. Jurors filled the hallways as several courts were picking panels for trials. In-person jury trials are taking place again after being shut down since last December because of the Omicron variant. Going back to Cardenas' sentencing, he had 2 other charges, a robbery and an aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. He got 10 years for both of those, but it will run concurrently with the 40 years. He is eligible for parole in 20 years. At the Cadena Reeves Justice Center, Erica Hernandez, KSAT 12 News.
The first black woman nominated to the U.S. Supreme Court, Judge Ketanji Brown Jackson, vowed in her words to make equal justice under the law a reality, not just an ideal.
She was met with both praise and criticism along party lines. She'll be back tomorrow before the Senate Judiciary Committee considering her historic nomination. Jesse Degollado says those that she spoke with say that it's welcomed but long overdue, with still a long way to go.
Great qualities for a justice.
A second-year law student from New York, Karen Crawford, was watching history in the making as U.S. Supreme Court nominee Judge Ketanji Brown Jackson sat before the Senate Judiciary Committee.
So for her being the first black female nominated, what's the problem? They only need to look at her record, and they only need to look at the things she's done.
Although she's a federal appellate judge now, will being the first former public defender nominated to the High Court work against her?
In this climate, in America right now, I said that probably might be working against her, but it really shouldn't be like that.
They say after more than 233 years, there have been only 2 African-American men on the High Court, decades apart, and now potentially its first black woman.
It shows that we have a long way to go. This is a start. We will be one step closer to where we need to be.
However, there will still be a conservative majority on the court.
Nevertheless, I think the ability to come in and be a different voice from a different perspective will change, I think, the way that the court may look at some issues.
Yet they say her nomination also points to the critical need for diversity in both the judiciary and legal professions. Jesse Degollado, KSAT 12 News.
Traffic right now, let's check out 281 at Bitters, and you can see traffic moving smoothly in both directions. The latest update on our weather situation when we come back. Before we go to weather, I want to show you Sky 12 right now.
Yeah, this is here at 181 in Loop 1604, looking out toward Floresville. You can see still some big clouds out there. And this has been, if you've been in San Antonio today watching this severe weather coverage, tornadoes in our area, confirmed touchdowns, sunny here in Bexar County. So, Adam, it's been something that's really been moving fast and something to watch.
Yeah, we were basically the developing point for a lot of these strong and what did become tornadic thunderstorms. So we were right where they started, then they blossomed really quickly and moved east away from San Antonio. But right now we still have some severe thunderstorms out there, especially Karnes County. Talking Karnes City right now, just north of Kennedy. It doesn't look as strong as it once was, but this little section of it that broke off and redeveloped, moving into Stockdale, that's a severe thunderstorm warning right now. That's in effect until 7 p.m. right here. That's until 7:15 p.m. actually. And I can turn off these yellow. The yellow indicates where we have the severe thunderstorm warnings. We can get right in here into Stockdale. And this purple is likely the hail associated with this severe thunderstorm, where you see the purple. And that purple is headed right into basically downtown Stockdale. It's at Gray Crossing. It's moving toward Main Street in Stockdale. That's likely to have some hail about 1 inch in diameter, maybe 1.5 inch diameter. So about the size of quarters to maybe even ping pong ball size hail associated with that. These storms are moving to the northeast at about 40 miles per hour. So they're moving quickly. But to time out just that little area of hail here, we can see what kind of communities, locations would be in the path of this. And we're talking obviously Stockdale momentarily. We're talking 6:55 p.m. So within 5 minutes that hail should be in Stockdale, downtown Stockdale. Belmont 7:35. Sladen, we're talking 7:48. And then if this stays on track and strength, Luling could actually get it by 7:51, and then Soda Springs by 7:56. So this could be another round of some active weather for locations down the line here that aren't getting it yet, that just had some strong and severe storms. So that's what we're watching with this, looking at the large hail associated with it and the potential for straight line winds up to 60 miles per hour. I do want to touch on Austin a little bit. Okay, I know it's not our viewing area, but Austin has had multiple confirmed tornado reports from these storms. You see all these little squiggly white lines? Those indicate confirmed tornadoes spotted on the ground. So it's been an active afternoon and evening in Austin. The dry air is moving into town, so we do think our threat is falling off locally. It's mainly east of 281. The latest computer model does indicate the activity just staying east of San Antonio the rest of the evening and tonight. And overall, our rain chances and storm chances really fall off here over the next couple of hours here in San Antonio. But those of you, Lavaca County, Gonzales County, even Karnes County, your threat exists through about 10 p.m. Tomorrow, sunny, windy, 50 in the morning, 73 by the afternoon, quiet weather the rest of the week, but a little on the cool side. Wednesday morning, jacket weather at the bus stop at 40 degrees, then only near 70 into the afternoon, but we get to 80 degrees by Thursday. We'll have another updated look at radar coming up later. All right, there's the radar. You look at the motion over the past hour, and all the storms are moving to the northeast very quickly. Right now, the threat is east of San Antonio, and we anticipate that to be the case through about 10 p.m., but we'll stay on top of it just in case.